Roll.
All right, we are now ready to do chicken stroke. Okay, are you ready? The first thing we get are our cornflakes. Now we pour these little cornflakes into a bowl. We're making a large batch, so we have to do many of these. We get our potato masher.
Wait a minute.
Potato.
Go ahead.
Ready?
Yeah.
Oh. And it has to be Kellogg's now. It can't be anything but Kellogg's cornflakes. You don't want to get any of the fancy stuff, like the nut and honey and stuff like that. It's got to be cornflakes. Then you take your potato masher and you mash it with the masher and you get it not too fine. If you get it too fine, then it doesn't come out good because it sort of runs off the chicken. So this is the first thing that we need to do. Mash all these up. Well, let's set these aside for a minute because I do have to start the sauce. Okay, this is... Alright, we take the bottle of Taylor's Dry Sherry. Has to be Taylor's Dry Sherry. Okay? You pour this in here now. As I say, I'm doing an extra large batch. So therefore, we're going to use more than I normally use. For a small batch, I usually use about this much of a bottle. Half. Okay, now we're going to... Oh, jeez.
Excuse me, I have a question.
What?
How many cornflakes are in the bowl?
Oh, about 1 billion. Maybe 1 million. There's a lot. And when you smash them, there's a lot more. Okay.
You make big cornflakes into little ones?
Yes. Now we gotta pour some more. Oh gosh. Who's here? Bobby's here.
The neighbors through the back door.
Making a double batch. Okay. Now, we pour the sherry in there. Now, you turn the stove on almost hot, but not quite hot. So I guess it's the almost hot. Not boiling. Okay? Now, we put the butter into the pan with the sherry. A full stick, usually just 1 stick, but we're doing double batch, so we're doing 2 sticks. Now, since you all have so much company, I figured you would like to see the double batch, since you do cook for many people. Now that you're in your new home, you'll be cooking more than you think, probably. All right, now, this butter we just melt in the pan, and
Salted or
then we
unsalted?
stick garlic. Do not cut the garlic, do not crush the garlic, just peel the garlic and it goes in whole. 3 pieces for 1 batch, 6 pieces for the double batch. Then we squeeze lemon. That's all, just a little bit of lemon. Okay, that's that. Now that has to get warm and melt the butter and everything. Are we still going?
Yes, we are.
Okay, now we continue to mash our cornflakes. Yes, we're mashing the cornflakes. They're getting nice. See? Can you see these? See, they're pieces in there. It's not too fine. Okay. All right, now. They're sort of, you have to use a potato masher. It doesn't work any other way. Those are ready. Now, what we're going to do when this all melts, we're going to dip the chicken into the sauce. But right at the moment, we're going to wait and let this melt. Cut.
The other cut.
Stand by. Go.
Okay, Louise, now we've cut these chicken breasts in half. And we've had them soaking in the wine, the dry sherry. Now the butter and the garlic is all in here together now with
Question about the butter.
with the sherry, and it's going to, now we're going to dip the chicken in it. But the butter, I forgot to tell you, neglected to tell you that it is the Land O'Lakes unsalted butter. Okay. Now we're going to dip chicken into the butter. Just sort of swish it around. And then we dip it into the cornflakes. You don't want to keep the chicken in the butter too long because what happens is it cooks it, and you really don't want it to cook it. So now we're going to lay this in the pan. And we dip each piece in here, roll it in the cornflakes, and then put it in the pan. I don't know if I told you or not, but you do preheat the oven. Did I mention that? You preheat the oven to 450 because we're going to start this off at a very high temperature because you need to get the cornflakes crispy before you pour the juice on it, because they'll wash all the cornflakes off if you don't do that. So this is what we're doing. We just line the pan with each one. It's a little messy, but that's all right.
Okay, shut it off.
Shut it off.
Go.
Now we're all in the pan. See? Now we stick it in 450 degrees for about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, now what you do with your leftover cornflakes is you pour them over the chicken. You'll see a few little bare spots on your chicken. You want to make sure everything's covered, so nothing goes to waste. We do all the cornflakes right in here. Okay.
When do you pour the juice?
Well, after it's browned
Is that
for
hot?
10 to 15 minutes, no, 450 degrees.
150 degrees, 400.
450 degrees.
All right.
I can measure and everything.
That looks cool. Look at it.
Oh, it's gonna be about 5 seconds of just nothing. Sorry about that.
Now, let's see.
This is called intermission. This is
I would say, yeah. You might want to turn it up high to get. Did it start boiling?
Yeah, I got it. So now I'm going down to the center.
Okay, are we ready?
Yep.
All right, what we need to do now is we need to pour on the juice. Now it's gotten a little crispy, so this won't wash it all off. So you stir this up a little bit. And this was cooking on 450 for about,
Now the juice is the combination of the butter and the
Sherry.
sherry.
and the,
Cloves of garlic.
Does that go in there? Does the garlic go in?
Yeah.
I'll put it in the pan.
Yeah.
So then I just pour everything into the chicken. Wash it through.
It's very important to have chant these tunes to
This was your birthday present, wasn't it? For John Louise?
The tray?
the chants.
Music.
Yes.
They bought Big John Chance, which is playing for his birthday. And I put this back in for another good half hour. Doesn't really take real long for it to cook. And you don't want to dry it out. Now, while you're doing this, then you have the rice cooking. So the rice will be ready when the chicken's ready. Now, I'm
This
going
side,
to,
yeah.
okay, you didn't
I
say
didn't get a
either.
paper Monday.
You would got a paper. We haven't missed a paper for a
Oh,
while.
that's okay.
I didn't get a paper.
Star
and
Democrat?
All righty.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry we haven't seen him.
So I got
Okay.
there.
He'll come
Bye-bye.
back.
No paper.
We're about ready to tromp
Oh,
down.
I can't find Black Boy.
Well, he came over. They're dogs. He let him out.
You see
Like when
him?
it's still dark out.